Pepito Arquero used to be a lucky man, until the day a typhoon struck and took away his wife, his income, and his future. 18 months later, he's still homeless, still jobless, and still living in the one-room temporary shelter where he and his children were evacuated. Life is not easy.
If I will tell it to you, very many problems for me. I have a lot of problems, but I just take it easy because if I put it in my heart, the problem that I encountered, maybe someday you may find me in mental hospital.
But mental illness is no laughing matter in this family. The eldest of Pepito's 6 children witnessed her mother's death. She hasn't spoken a word since.
So I'm worrying the future of my children because if I died, no one will feed them. No one will care for them. My children are only my hope because as I told you, I'm already old. Only my children are my hope. I'm not losing hope. Someday I will become maybe richer than before. Yeah.
Before, that is, the afternoon of November the 30th, 2006, when Typhoon Reming hit the Philippines. Before flash floods brought thousands of tons of sand and stones crashing down the side of the volcanic Mount Maipon, smothering the rice fields, houses, and people in its path. By the time the storm had passed, 1,000 people were dead, and more than 10,000 had been made homeless. Within minutes, Pepito's life had changed forever.
When my wife died, I learned to cook. My children cannot cook, so I have to cook them for their food. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy. if there's some food to be cooked.
Pepito has a sister who still lives close to his former home, and she gives him whatever food and money she can spare. But life has become monotonous routine for Pepito and his fellow displaced. And all that's left to them is the memory of the things they lost.
I remember when I eat my lunch, there are so many putahes, mini bayans in front of me. And I have soft drinks, cold soft drinks, a dessert, fruits. Before, but now look at the except rice and gula, what's vegetables, cooked vegetables. Very miserable life, but I can face it.
Back in Pepito's former village of Maipon, the destruction is still plain to see. Maipon lies just a few kilometers away from the camp he's currently living in, but to Pepito it feels like a lifetime away.
Yes, you have got our place. You see, the place is covered with sands and stones. So, no more rice field. I feel so sad when I remember, when I go to this place, you know, I feel very sad. I remember my wife. You know, it's very painful for me when I go back to this place because I remember the moments when she's still alive. This is the pillow that my wife used. The pillow that my wife used. And I have 1 hectare from here up there. But now it's grassy. Okay. Sandy soil. The rice will not grow very well in this particular soil. Before I have a rice field, I have a car, a jeepney. No more, no more, no more rice, no more fish. Everything is nothing.
All around Maipon, people are clinging to what's left of their lives. But the government has declared the area a permanent danger zone and wants all people living within an 8-kilometre radius of the volcano to move before another disaster strikes. Amongst Maipon's coconut groves, the houses remain largely intact, and people can still grow cassava and some vegetables in the volcanic sand. As a consequence, many people still live here, but as they know only too well, they're living on borrowed time. Pepito's sister Anna is one of them. Her house is less than 100 metres away from Pepito's old house.
Rice.
And so long as she can stay here and cultivate, then Pepito knows that he and his children will not starve. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel. NGOs, local government and the Catholic Church are building houses where the homeless are being resettled, away from the threat of the volcano. The houses are basic and cramped, but it's a definite improvement on the transit camps they've been living in for almost 2 years. Pepito has just found out that he and his family have been given a new house here at this site, and he's come to see it. Although he's grateful to be given a free house, he knows it won't be the end of his family's problems.
This is more smaller. My house before is bigger than this one. We have no space at all, no playground, but still a house to live in. It's okay for me.
But even in their new homes, they'll continue to live in the shadow of Mount Mayon. And the forecast for the displaced still looks stormy. Anislat Resettlement Village is almost finished, and some families have been living in their new houses for 6 months already. Chat Mirafuentes works for a local NGO, and although she can afford to rent an apartment in town, chooses to stay here with her community instead. But Chat is worried. She's glad to see the displaced being rehoused, but realised soon after moving here that rebuilding lives takes more than bricks and mortar.
The solution of displaced families is not really just giving their house, a house for them. It is how they will live in the house, then how will they stay in the house for long term, that everything that they need that are already there. Then displaced family can be truly safe if they have all the things that they are need in their new place.
Top of the list is jobs, but the sad reality is that most of the adults living in Anislat are jobless. Some alternative livelihood programs have been set up, like this one teaching handicraft skills. But despite the best efforts of the charities working here, these programs reach only a few. Most of the people of Anislat have never done anything but farm, and now that they've lost their land, they have few places left to turn. Reynaldo Mirafuentes is typical. Today, he and his wife have come to Anislat's makeshift church to collect the keys to their new home.
May masaya. Siyempre, may tahanan ng mapaama. Pupuntahan kung sakasakaling magkaroon uli ng mga kalamidad nung dumaang Reming.
But as soon as the priest has moved on to bless his neighbour's house, Ronaldo is changing out of his Sunday best and heading back to his farm. His village is well within the declared danger zone and was badly damaged by the typhoon. But Ronaldo has put his back and months of hard work into clearing as much of his land as he can. And for the first time in 2 years, he's been able to plant rice. He's all too aware that this puts him back in the shadow of one of the country's most active volcanoes, but knows that if he doesn't farm, he won't be able to support his family. So Ronaldo spends most of his time here on the farm while keeping his family back in the safety of the resettlement village. As far as he's concerned, the new house at Anislat offers little more than shelter.
Ako, hindi ako makangako na doon ako titira. Dahil ang iniisip ko, yung pagbuhay namin, yung sa araw-araw namin na gastusin, na wala naman ako doon makukuhang trabaho.
Privately, local officials worry that these resettlement villages could end up as slums. Chat Mirafuentes has already noticed disturbing changes.
Maybe some of the women turned into, some way of prostitution just to get some money for, So maybe that number will increase. And stealing is already on the loose. Some of our youth here now, they have no food to eat. So in their mind, it is the easiest way they can have money. So they steal.
And according to Chat, so many people have lost their livelihoods that many of their children are forced to leave school and work.
In this place, there were young children working, 14, 15. They're working as laborers for the constructions. Interviewed one youth yesterday. I saw him working in the construction. I asked him, "How old are you?" Sabi, "Ate, I'm only 14." "Huh? Why are you working? Are you not studying?" "No, I'm not studying because my family has no finances to send me to school." I hope for a better future, but in our present situation, it can be impossible.